Hello everyone and welcome to my IT tutorial. Today I'm going to talk about deploying Adobe Reader using domain policy. So for that we'll need four things: Adobe customization wizard, the Reader installation file, a shared folder, and some knowledge of command line. Alright, first let's obtain the customization and the installation files. Now let's search for Adobe customization wizard. And the very first result is what you want. Click, and there's a link on the bottom. Hit download, and that'll download the customization wizard. Next, we want Adobe Reader installation. Hit download now. But then instead of saving the file, you hit cancel, and then scroll down, and then you'll see click here for troubleshooting information. You click that, then you have to click try different download link, and then hit direct download link. Now here it lets you choose an operating system language, so that's what we're going to do. So my operating system is Windows 7. Then we want English and version Reader 10, that's what we want. And now you hit download, and that is going to download the exe file that I have there. Now exe is still not the one we want. We actually want to get the MSI package. So to do that, we can just right click and, using your favorite zipping utility, extract the contents of the exe. And after it extracts, you'll find all you need right here. Alright, now we want to create an administrative install point, and to do that we have to open the command line. It's easiest to click in the address bar and then type in cmd, because it will open the command line directly in this folder. So now we type in msi exec a, and then we want to use the acro read msi. This will tell you that it's gonna create a server image. Hit next. Now we want to put it in the shared location network. In my previous tutorial, when I talked about Java deployment, I already created a shared location which is located on the domain controller, and it's in C software. And here you can see I have my Java installation here. If you want to see how to create a shared location, you can watch my Java tutorial. Now, so we're gonna deploy the server image right in there. So we go to change, C software, and then let's call it acro read 10. Hit OK and install. Wait. After finish, now in here, that's how it's going to be our install, which is going to be sent to the client computer through the domain. Now, why do we need the customization wizard? Well, if you have a large company and your users don't have admin permissions, once there's a new update, Adobe will keep bugging the user to update, but then they won't be able to, because they don't have administrative privileges to install the update, and it can be very annoying. So I just double click the file, install it. I already have it installed, so it asks me to remove, but there are no options here really. Just hit next, next, next to install the customization wizard. Then open the customization wizard and navigate to the administrative install point. So hit open, go to computer, C, software, acro read MSI. And here you can do the customizations. You can set where the installation is going to be put in, install options. Here we want to select silently because users are not going to be interacting with it. It's going to be installed at computer boot by the computer itself. We want to suppress reboot since no files are being used at the boot time. If you want, you can make it a default reader, up to you. Then there's this just tells you where all the files are going to be placed, registry entries, and shortcuts. An Adobe installation always creates a shortcut on the desktop, which can be quite annoying because nobody really uses a reader shortcut from the desktop. So I like to remove it. Usually people open PDF files directly. Since you can't create a file using a reader anyway, it's a nice thing to do to remove it in order to prevent cluttering of the desktop. There's lots of stuff that you can customize. Here, this is another one that I like. Every time user starts Adobe the first time, there's a license agreement acceptance. We can just suppress it by accepting it for the whole organization here, and that's it. Users won't have to click anything, just another few seconds of their life saved. So to prevent updates from popping up, we disable all updates. That's nice. And we want to purchase Adobe Acrobat. You can just select a whole bunch of stuff that your organization will not need. Alright, and when you're done, you just hit transform and generate a transform. And you save it in the same folder where you created the administrative install point, which is C soft. In my case, it's C software AcroRead. And don't forget, software is a shared location, accessible by anyone on the network. So we just call it company prefs. You can call it anything you want. And we get this error. If you get this error, don't worry, this is nothing special. It's just one little bug that they didn't fix. Just hit OK and go to the installation folder, create new text document, and just create that file that it can't find. Just set up ini, hit OK, yes, and now if you do transform, generate a transform, and company prefs save, it's saved just fine. Okay, now we can close that. You don't want to save changes to MSI itself. And now we go to the group policy management. In order for a computer to be able to install software at boot time without user interaction, there's one setting that we need to define. I like to place it in the default domain policy rather than attaching it to each deployment policy. I already have it defined since in the previous tutorial I showed how to deploy Java. But basically, if you didn't watch it, it's in default domain policy, computer configuration, administrative templates, Windows components, Windows installer, and it's called always install with elevated privileges, and you just enable that and you're ready to go. Now what we want to do is create a new GPO, and let's call it Adobe Reader Deployment. From my experience, when I deploy more than one software in one group policy, only one of them gets installed. I don't know why that is. Maybe I had a buggy domain controller, or maybe that's how it was intended. So I like to create a new GPO for each deployment of software. So you go to policies, software settings, software installation, right click, new package, and you want to navigate to the shared server location where your package is stored. And in our case, it's on this computer, which is called SBX ADDC, and it's in software, AcroRead, and AcroRead MSI. That's our package. Here you want to select Advanced because we want to apply the modifications that we created. And to do that, you go to Modifications, you hit Add, and our company prefs modification file is right here. Select it, hit Open. And on the deployment tab, I like to select uninstall this application when it fails out of scope of management. This way, if I remove group policy, the software will be uninstalled in case I want to install a new one, or if something changes. I just like to check that. It's up to you if you're gonna do that. So hit OK, and it's deployed. Now let's go to our client machine. To test the installation, let's open command prompt and run gp update force, and we wait for the policy to update, and here it tells you that there's a software installation pending. Would you like to restart the system? You just hit yes and enter, and now we wait for a restart. And here the system restarted, and as you may notice, the please wait is taking a while to finish because the software installation is actually taking place now. So let's just wait a few more seconds. Okay, now let's take a look if the software installed. Let's go to Start, and there we go, Adobe Reader. And notice how there's no shortcut on the desktop, so that option worked out. And let's start the reader now. Notice how there was no pop-up saying that license agreement needs to be accepted, and there's no update link here, so that means updates are not going to run, which is exactly what we selected in our modification settings. So yep, that's it. This is how you deploy Adobe using domain policy. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.